All right, hi everyone, Dr. J here, and I am so pleased to have the opportunity to be speaking with you about bank code and personality typing, which I am very excited about. So the title of this presentation is Thriving at Home and Work with Enhanced Personality. Now, obviously, we all have personalities, and so what is it I mean by enhanced personality? Well, I hope that as we go through this presentation, you're going to better understand a bit about what I'm talking about. But each of us has a personality, and it is a blend of a lot of different components. We have personalities that we often got from our parents. Or other significant others who we grew up with, from our siblings. So oftentimes people will say, wow, I can see after I met your parents how you got this characteristic or that behavior or whatever. Maybe there's a particular way that people laugh. There may be a particular mannerism that someone has. There may be ways that people eat that obviously are very much like their parents ate. And so that's how we get a lot of our behavior and a lot of our values and our personality. Of course, we each have our own unique blend. And parents would definitely say, well, this child is like this, that child is like this. These two are totally different. And so we do have our own unique personalities, but there are a lot of different behavioral traits and ways that we act that are intrinsic to ourselves, and we also learn them. Now, when we're in a new environment, whether it's in work or in our own home, there may be behaviors that one person really likes and other people have a lot of difficulty with. These can become conflicts at work. They can become deep-seated conflicts at home. And in making decisions in the home or work environment, these can become stumbling blocks and emotional difficulties for people. So what I'm aiming at here is talking a bit about bank code and how we can apply just the beginning stages of bank code and understanding them in order to then better, like myself, to better understand how other people are operating, and then so that I can blend more effectively with these other people, so I can adapt my behavior and how I speak to people in order to affect greater change, in order to improve the situation I might be in at work, to make things more productive, to make things more harmonious, and to accomplish more in life, to get what I need, and so other people get what they need to create win-win situations. So that is essentially what this thriving at home and work with enhanced personality theme is all about. So once again, I want to thank you for letting me have the opportunity to talk to you about something that's changed my life in many ways and my clinic atmosphere, because I apply this in the clinic as well. Each person who comes in, we have them do the bank code cards. Now, these are what the old version looks like. They were much larger than they are now. And so these are ones that I actually still use in my office because they're a little easier for people to read and see than these cards. Now, these cards, though, I do carry with me in my wallet, and I like to introduce people on the airplane to these. I like to use them at seminars I go to that are not related to bank code to get to know people a little bit better. They're great icebreakers, and they're a great thing. Everyone loves to do these cards because ultimately it is a way for me to better understand the other person, and it forms this bridge that even shy people will start to converse even more about themselves when we use this. So bank code and the system first came out of the context of sales. And so this particular presentation is is focused a bit on sales. And so for those of you who don't like sales, it may be a little bit of a challenge for you to listen to this. I hope not. Because when it comes down to it, almost everything, all of our relationships, if we want to get our needs met and we want other people to get their needs met and their wants met, then there is a certain sales negotiation that goes on in that process. So this discussion about sales actually is applicable to everyone's life, in my opinion. Now, as you know, I recently published this book, and this is a presidential year right now. We're 2 weeks away from the presidential general election. And this book, Code Blue in the White House, What Successful Presidents Sell Voters to Win Election, is some of my thoughts on how presidential candidates sell other people. And what we as voters need to be clear about when we're listening to a candidate to better understand how they are selling to us, because definitely they want our vote. And that is definitely selling themselves and their party platform or their thoughts or whatever it is. If they're trying to cover up something, if they're trying to explain something in ways that we will accept them. This is all about sales. So in this book, I actually spent a fair amount of time talking about the BANKCODE personalities of past presidents, current candidates, and what implications that may have for the election. Now, I don't really go into my own personal opinion about this because BANKCODE is non-judgmental. It is simply a way to better understand other people and how they behave based on their values. And then we can adapt to that, and we can learn how to better cooperate with other people and better understand them. So in this particular book, my Code Blue in the White House book, which I encourage you to buy and read, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, and Chapter 9, I go into all this. Like Chapter 6, archetypes to understand human behavior and then speak to it. So how to speak to other people's behavior. There's a number of archetypes that people use, and BANKCODE is one of those which I talk about here significantly. Again, it's a caveat. In this book, I'm not speaking as a spokesperson for BANKCODE or Global Bank Academy. I am, as a certified trainer, speaking to you with respect to BANKCODE here, because I am a licensed and certified trainer. On page 82 of this book, I go over some of the basic values of each of the blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge types. Chapter 8, Code Blue or Code Red in the White House. And so I talk a bit about the current presidential candidates, at least at this point, and there were many more involved at the beginning. This was, I first started doing this in 2015 and doing some analysis there, and then carrying on into 2016 up until the presidential political party primary elections. And so I do have an analysis here that people had regarding Ted Cruz or Bernie Sanders, as well as past presidents. So I do have some information about those other candidates too in this book. And I also want to say something, like a couple years ago, I wrote this book, Super Brain, Maximize Your Brain Health for Better Life. And one of the key elements in keeping our brain healthy is to interact with other people. We are social beings. Now, some of us are more introverted. Some of us more extroverted. Even the introverted individuals interact with other people and need to. We physically have to interact with other individuals in society in order for our brain to develop properly and to stay awake. We often find that people with dementia and Alzheimer's start to shy away from other individuals, and it's one of the key things that we notice as a sign that something may be going on with a person's brain degenerating. So in my book, Super Brain, Maximize Your Brain Health for Better Life, I highly recommend BANKCODE and studying BANKCODE in order to keep your brain healthy. So these are some of the background things I want to say as an introduction, talking about thriving at home and work with enhanced personality. So, we all are involved in sales, whether we're in business for ourselves or maybe we have to sell ourselves at work. And at home, we definitely have to sell ourselves and our ideas to other people. Let's go to the beach. I don't want to go to the beach. I want to go to the restaurant. Well, you have to sell. You have to sell yourself. So let's take a look at that in a little more depth. And this system was originally designed to increase sales up to 300%. And what is fascinating to me is that it has the secrets, the science, and the systems to do exactly that. In fact, my own business as a clinician has increased by implementing this system. I think I established greater rapport with individuals, and I have a wider range of people with particular behavioral types in my practice than I used to as a result. So how many of you would actually like to increase your sales and your effectiveness at home and work? Well, I'm a certified trainer with BANKCODE. I'm a licensed doctor of Sordean medicine and a naturopath with over 34 years of experience, and I've applied this in my practice only over the last 3 or 4 years. I have been invited on television as a medical expert in Alzheimer's and dementia, and have a very successful practice helping so many thousands of people over the last 30 years. Now, as I mentioned, I'm an author of 3 different books, all bestsellers, and I have been serving the community in California, the Berkeley Bay Area community, serving on several nonprofit organizational boards for the last 25, 30 years. These include Berkeley Sakai Sister City Association, HEART, which is Humanistic Alternatives in Addiction Research and Therapy. It's in Oakland and Hayward, as well as the People's Life Fund, which is an organization that helps fund peace organizations every year. I've also won numerous awards as far as being a valued clinician, and I have multiple academic degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's in acupuncture, oriental medical doctorate degree as well. Sherry Tree has recommended me as a highly trained and certified trainer in the BANKCODE system after applying it in my practice for quite a while.
Hi, I'm Sherry, founder and creator of the B.A.N.K.T methodology, and I want to do a special promotion for Dr. J. Dr. J has been a longtime client and now one of our certified and licensed trainers of the B.A.N.K.T methodology. He can teach you the secrets, the science, and the system to supercharge your sales and improve your relationships in less.
So this is the BANKCODE. So essentially, any one of us has a predominant code. And so if we only approach other people with that code, then we are going to miss out on numerous other possibilities to help them, and they may actually buy our products and buy into our program if we actually can speak to them in these other languages. So that is what this represents. Essentially, if we're able to speak in each of all 4 of the BANKCODE personality types, then instead of just speaking in the one that we typically do only, we have increased our possibilities by 300%. So Robert Kiyosaki has said the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. And many people would agree. Salespeople certainly a good salesperson makes a lot of money. Now, what are the numbers? The numbers are this. According to Salesforce.com and Altify, salespeople also miss their quotas. In fact, 67% of the time, salespeople miss their quotas. Not a very good record. Now, it's also, according to them, they surveyed, and 87% of salespeople say they do not feel adequately prepared for their sales presentations. And of those sales presentation, like this one, hopefully you are enjoying it, you aren't totally turned off, but 67% of people say they hated the sales presentation. It was horrible. And so the odds of selling to other people are pretty stacked against you. Now, have you ever heard that sales is a numbers game? In order to get more yeses, you have to get more what? That's right, no's. That is what is said. And so very commonly they say in order to get more yeses, you have to get more no's. Now, have you ever stopped to think about how ridiculous that sounds? I mean, because in order to get more yeses, you really have to get more what? Yeses. Actually, you need more yeses in order to get yeses. To get no's, that doesn't give you yeses. So essentially, this is kind of crazy that has become the basic phrase that's used in sales. And if you are in sales, you'll hear this, that sales is a numbers game. However, sales is not really just a numbers game. And what if there's a proven way to get more yeses? That's what we're looking for, right? Even in our relationships, we want more yeses. So sales is not really a numbers game. It is a people game. Well, so how do you do that? How do you get more yeses? Well, the secret to sales is to have the mindset that sales is not a numbers game. It's a people's game. And what this system, the BANKCODE system, is about is how to crack the personality code of the person you're speaking to about your product or service, and then you can take it to the bank. So the best salesperson actually outsells the average salesperson 57-1. That's huge. That's why they make so much money, but it's fairly rare that this is the case. This is according to the Word of Mouth Marketing Association. So do you think the best salesperson works 57 times more hours than the other people? Leads than the other person 57 times more? They work 57 times more hours? Or they see 57 times more people than other people? Or they actually get 57 times more no's than the not best salesperson? I don't really think so. So what is the secret? Well, we said that. The secret is that sales is not a numbers game. It is a people game. It's a relationship game. And BANK helps to transform relationships that you have with other people. Brian Tracy, very famous motivational speaker, says all business is a people business. Whether you're selling cars, whether you're selling real estate, it's about people. So the question is it possible for one idea to change the world? Well, we certainly state that BANK, being people-based, people-focused, it's also profit-driven, and it can change your life and your business. Sherry Tree was the founder and the CEO of BANK. Let me tell you a little bit about her background so you can better understand why it got developed. Well, in her first year of business, she worked really, really, really hard, and she ended up making $700 that year. I believe that was multi-level marketing, and so that was not really great. So she really focused down. She worked much harder. She decided, okay, I'm going to do everything I can, and the next year she made a little more, and over 5 years she got to $72,000 total. Now, of course, these results may vary. No income is guaranteed in this, but so she made $72,000, but this was not what she was wanting to make. She wanted to make much more than this, and perhaps that is what you are also interested in as well. So she started studying and various personality types, and she could never find anything that really helped her sell much more. And so she did research, and she came up with this BANKCODE system, which is actually based on the psychology of selling. What kind of things make a person buy? And in the following year, she was able, using BANKCODE, to have a 695% increase in her sales, which was $500,000 in sales that she was able to make. And then within 3 years, she made more than $1 million, which was a 1,388% increase in her sales using BANKCODE. She has thus been invited to speak around the world. She shared the stage with millionaires, people like Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and other books. She's also shared the stage with billionaires, such as Sir Richard Branson, who is the head of Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Airlines, etc. Very famous man. She also was invited to speak at Harvard University by the Harvard Extension Wellness Club to speak about BANKCODE, and they were very impressed with this whole concept because they didn't know about it. She's also at the University of California, Berkeley, which is here in the town that I live in and where this practice is. In 2014, she was invited by the UC Berkeley Haas Business School Alumni Network to speak about BANKCODE. And based on that, she got connections because they wanted to see, well, is this real? Does this really work? Is this a proven system? So she got some connections through that meeting because Haas School of Business was very interested, and so is Harvard University, very interested in finding out how well this would work for teaching their students in business school as well. So she was able to connect with San Francisco State University and Orion Howell, who is a PhD in sales and personality. He's an associate professor of psychology and statistics professor at San Francisco State University. So he did this study. Here I actually have the what's called the white paper, the white paper executive summary by B.A.N.K.T. that was published just this year, earlier this year in 2016, that actually states and proves that B.A.N.K.T. predicts buying behavior. So there's academic proof by the top people in statistics and personality sales systems that this system works for sales. Albert Einstein has famously said, "Any fool can complicate things. It takes a genius to simplify them," and that is what BANKCODE is all about. So let's talk a little bit about the science of B.A.N.K.T. Personality science has been around for thousands and thousands of years. And in the BANKCODE, there are 4 basic types. There's the blueprint, the action, the nurturing, and the knowledge type individual. Now, every single person, every customer has a predominant personality type. The Greek physician Hippocrates, in 400 BC, he incorporated the theory of the 4 temperaments into his medical practice, and he found that he could actually treat based on that and get improvement in people's health. So this concept of personality types or temperaments has been around for thousands of years. And as a naturopath, a homeopath, a clinician in a wide variety of different natural medicines, I have studied these, and so I do know this to be the case. This is something that BANKCODE and B.A.N.K. Academy teaches, that this is the history of BANKCODE, because over time these different concepts were brought into and studied, and Sherry Tree came up with a unique formulation of a system which is about personality types. Now, I'm sure all of you here have taken some form of personality assessment. Millions have taken it worldwide, and it is used in companies and corporations all around the world all the time. There's the DISC system in BNI, Business Networking International. I was a member of that for 4 or 5 years, and DISC is a very big one that is used there. There is the Kinsley Temperament Sorter, there's MBTI, color coding, personality science, there's the animal types. So there's a lot of different types and personality assessments out there. However, the missing link that Sherry Tree discovered was that the BANKCODE is able to actually predict buying behavior, whereas these other personality systems may predict other things, like DISC. Is someone a promoter? Is they more likely to go out and promote? Or are they going to be in the back room? They want to just keep track of numbers. Well, that's great. That's really good to understand those things in both a household situation or in a work situation. But that doesn't really help one in sales to figure out how to sell to that other person. And that is exactly what BANKCODE does, is helps you better understand how to communicate with the person so that both you and they will be able to have a win-win situation. So what is this code in the BANKCODE system? So there's something called the CRYPTEX. And the CRYPTEX is a container that's well known from the Da Vinci Code, the movie, which was the key to the universe. And inside this, it's like CRYPTEX is a container that holds a secret. And this particular one, you had to turn it, and if you got the wrong combination to open it, there was a vinegar vial inside, and it would destroy the code that was written inside on parchment. And so the entire code would be damaged. So maybe you should watch this movie to see the suspense that goes on. But that is essentially what it's about. So if you dial in the wrong combination, you will destroy the secret that is hidden within the CRYPTEX. And you can see here it's opened up with the little vial of vinegar in there and the papyrus. Tony Robbins said, let your prospect determine your presentation. Well, this is exactly what BANKCODE is about. So, once again, talking about CRYPTEX. Cryptology is the science of locking up secret information, which is what that little thing is. And a codex is the written scripture or paper rolled up or hidden or locked inside this device. It's the written scripture or paper rolled up and hidden or locked inside that device. And so that is somewhat like sales, right? Inside each of us is a little script that's hidden away, that's secret, that if someone says that script, if someone speaks to us in exactly a certain way, they will sell us. We will actually buy from them if they sell us on something in a particular way that meets who we are. Would you agree? There are people who have sold things to you because they were able to speak to you. They were able to address you in the way that you needed to be addressed with that. So inside each of us is this CRYPTEX. There's a secret. Now, what if you went around, everyone has this in their pocket, in their purse somewhere, and you were able to unlock that secret in order to sell them on what they need and what you would like them to buy into? How about that? Would that be great? Well, that's what BANK is all about, is understanding their code so that you can communicate in a way that resonates with them. So typically we all operate from a basic personality type out of the 4. And so if we're speaking from that way to this other person, then we'll probably deliver the right script 25% of the time. But you'll also deliver the wrong script 75% of the time. Now, obviously, many people spend years in therapy or group therapy to better understand, for one thing, how to communicate with their spouse, their lover, with other people in work. It can take a lot of energy, time, and money to actually communicate more effectively in that 75% realm. Well, if you're only speaking using your own style, if you're only speaking to the other person in a particular style that suits yourself, you're only going to hit it 1 out of 4 times. However, you're missing it 3 out of 4 times. That's quite a lot. Now, that may be one of the very significant reasons why sales is so difficult and why so many people hate selling, because they don't know what's going on. So there's actually an opportunity cost that's involved in this. So this is a complicated equation that's used in sales, but essentially it's current income. For example, let's say your current income is $72,000, and you want to increase your income by 3. That would be an extra $216,000. Now, let's say you have 20 years remaining in sales. So that would be an additional $4,320,000 that you could take to the bank if you were able to accelerate your sales by 3 times. In other words, if you knew how to pop that CRYPTEX, you may be able to increase your sales by 3 times, and over 20 years, if you start out at $72,000 a year, that could lead to an extra $4 million. This is why Sherry says, take it to the bank by learning this system. So it's really important to master the science of communication, negotiation, and closing more sales by understanding each of these different codes. So, we talked about the secret and the science. Let's talk a little bit about the system. So the system there are 4 different types. So this is, for example, the blueprint. And here are some symbols here. B is in bank. It stands for blueprint. And so the values of the blueprint person include stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, and tradition. These are all the values that may be very important to a person who is a blueprint type individual. So if this is the type of person you're trying to sell to, you need to speak to these issues in order to be successful. For example, greeting is a good, strong, firm handshake. That's what they want. If you're doing a high five, that is just not going to cut it. Jeff Vogan, a financial advisor who is blueprint type, has stated, I was skeptical at first, but I followed the step-by-step system and closed 100% of my next 8 clients. This gave me a track record I could bank on. He made $50,000 in under 90 days. Okay, let's look at the action type. So that's the A in bank. Action type has a different set of values. They include, now, not everyone finds these values as the number one thing. When I have people take a look at their cards, I ask afterwards, well, what caught your attention on the card? And for the action individual, they don't necessarily say all of these were important to them, but they will select from this card, and we know from the white paper and this analysis that actually these different values are strongly associated together in this buying and selling behavior complex that's called action. Values include freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity. They love opportunities. They love excitement. They want attention. Stimulation is important. Competition and winning, very, very, very important to these individuals. And when I did this analysis of the presidential candidates, code blue in the White House, which one do you think people almost invariably, 95% of the time, of all the bank codes, which one was Hillary and which one was Donald Trump? Well, I can say that this was not the one that Hillary was associated with in most circumstances. However, Donald Trump was. Almost everyone looked at the cards and said, this is Donald Trump card. For one thing, think about competition. Very competitive. Winning at the top of the list. He has to win, and he will do anything necessary to win. You think he likes a little attention too? He certainly got a lot of media attention in this whole campaign, and he knows how to get attention. And does he talk a lot about freedom? He sure does. And action? Definitely. So this is the action type individual. The greeting is a high five. Yancey unequivocally, who's a business owner, has stated, bank is a total game changer. Using the simple and fun system, it allowed me to crush my sales and launch my way to the bank. Laugh my way to the bank, Laugh my way to the bank. Making $250,000 in 18 months. You can see she is a real action-oriented individual in the way she dresses and even in the way she speaks. Nurturing is the N in bank, B-A.N.K. N is nurturing. And the values are, once again, 12 basic values that are grouped together in this because they are associated with this type of individual and their buying behavior. Relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significant teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. Their greeting is a hug. They love to hug other people. Now, if a nurturer was going over to a blueprint and gave him a big hug, do you think that would be received well? Not at all. Not at all. And if someone is trying to sell the blueprint, giving them a big hug, deal killer. Naomi Gomes, she's in direct sales network marketing. She said, bank changed my life. It helped me in business and also improved my personal relationships with my friends and family. Bank is priceless. She made $32,000 in 1 week when she first started using BANKCODE, and she's succeeded much more since then. So let's look at the K type. This is the K in bank, B-A-N-K. Now we're at the last one. The K values learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, R&D. Science, universal truths, expertise is very important to them. Competence, accuracy, and the big picture. Their greeting is the Dr. Spock greeting. Well, this is sort of a joke, but Big Bang Theory, if you watch that, big time. You watch Big Bang Theory on TV, you will see them doing this kind of symbol. It's hilarious. Very knowledge-type behavior. What is their greeting like? They will hand you a business card. They don't really want to shake your hand. They don't want to interact. They just hand you a business card. Kind of cold. There, please. Not a hugger, that's for sure. Not a pew greeting like that with a fist bump or fist explosion. No, much more subdued. YORAM, BALTINESTER, an IT consultant. Studied bank, and he's also a certified trainer. He stated, bank gave me a quantum leap advantage in business from every other program I've studied. This course is an absolute no-brainer. I know YORAM. He made $30,000 in 15 minutes. This was because he changed his approach on a sale with another business person. He was selling his IT business to someone else. And just by shifting, instead of being from the knowledge type personality behavior, he found out the other person was much more interested. He was much more nurture. And when he was able to connect with this other man and understand why he was wanting to buy the business, and he met those needs and talked about them, he was able to improve the sale that he made by $30,000. So what is your code? Now, all of you who are watching this have actually played the card game with me, either in my office or at some other location. You've taken these cards and you've looked at them and you've sorted them. And then we also put that into the Bank Pass program, which is online, and then you got an analysis of that, which is a $59 cost, but I gave that to you as a gift. So you do know what your bank code is. Actually, each of us has a combination of those four. Each bank code card has some influence on it. Usually the first two are the strongest, but there are actually 24 different bank codes because the combination of each of those four cards can be sorted in different ways. So for example, on the left hand side there, blueprint. Blueprint is in the first place, but then the action could be in the second place in two of those. Then you have nurture and knowledge, or blueprint, action, knowledge, nurture, in that order. That's the one, the card clear over on the left hand corner that says blueprint, just reading the top two lines. So there's actually 24 bank codes, and to really understand the other individual, you have to be able to understand all four of their cards. And we have training in that. It's called speed coding, which I've done. But you only have a 4% chance of getting the right code on the person when you first meet them if you do not know how to analyze, how to understand this other individual. However, because of the bank code system, you will learn to crack another person's code in 90 seconds or less. Do you think that might be a major advantage for you in interacting with other people, or in your sales, or at work? Definitely. Learning this is a great skill set that everyone should know. Now, I've been showing you the bank value cards. These are the new ones here. We also have ones that just came out that have pictures on them that can be used for children, because children can't necessarily understand these words. And those bank card codes for children, I have used those in the United States, and children love them. It's really fun. At the same time, I recently was in Japan in the summer of 2016. Just recently, I went with my daughter on a student exchange program, and the bank code cards had just come out with the pictures. So based on that, I asked my Japanese friends to sort them. I also did translate the value cards from English to Japanese, because we don't have value cards in Japanese yet. Officially, BANKCODE does not have that. They are in Spanish, they are in some other languages, but not in Japanese. So I translated those, and I wanted to see how the pictures and the actual language correlated, because I have a strong K in my behavioral tendencies, and so I had to research. It's my R&D. So it was great. We found a great correlation, and of course there were a few pictures that in Japan they didn't quite follow. They have different symbol for a policeman, and then of course there's the dollar bill sign that represents money. They understand that, of course, but they would have the yen sign instead if we were making bank cards for that. But these value cards are amazing. They're wonderful to have, and you can't buy them on the open market. You actually have to get them from someone who is a bank certified trainer. Those who show showed up this evening for this talk were able to actually get a set of these cards for a small amount of money. So Darren Gunawaradana made $250,000 in one negotiation because of his knowing bank code. So this evening there's a limited opportunity, but if you call me and actually tell me that you watched this entire program, then there's an opportunity that we may be able to get you a set of these cards. Even more important is you considering signing up for the virtual training online and the live training as well. I've taken lots of live training classes myself, including speed coding, which is where you're in a large room and you learn without using the bank cards, the value cards. You actually learn what characteristics to look for and what questions to ask somebody in order to figure out all four, the order of their four bank codes, just by talking to them, looking at how they dress, what their wallet looks like, etc. So what I would suggest is that you give me a call now, 510-849-1176. At least leave a message if I don't pick up. But we're giving you the opportunity to get a set of these cards, and also I would hope that you would be interested in signing up for one of the trainings. We have online training, virtual training at 3 different levels, and they're fantastic. I mean, when I first started BANKCODE, we had this little portfolio and there were 4 discs in it, and that's what we got. And now it is all, and we also got these large cards. Now it is online and you can repeatedly watch them over and over again, and it tracks it for you. You don't have to keep track of your homework. You don't have to keep track of, well, which one did I look at? There's a little quiz after each one. And at the end of each section, you get certified. There's also another opportunity for you is to buy and subscribe to the Bank Pass system. Because you're watching this, if you know me, you can enter a special code and get the $99 activation fee waived if you subscribe online using my code. Now, obviously, we will talk to you, call me, and we will go through this whole process of subscribing and help you figure out which level is best. Now, if you have a company that is interested in learning bank code as a whole, or the sales department, we have an enterprise version of this, and the enterprise version is based on the number of people who will be using it. So each person at the company will have a special login account, and they will have their own set of homework and the videos, and the person in charge, the enterprise, can actually monitor that to make sure that they can encourage the person to continue watching the videos, and people can practice and they can see where they're at. So the enterprise version actually has this extra feature of being able to monitor where all the different team members are in their training, and anyone who has their own personal subscription can monitor their training also. Bank Pass, great online version, that's what you got from me. You got your analysis from me through the email system of Bank Pass. It's $29.95 a month. And if you subscribe to the virtual training, any of the subscription levels, the first month will be free. And you can do it unlimited times. You can use that Bank Pass unlimited times within the first month. And then there is the recurring $29.95 subscription fee for that particular software. So you can go to actually 4-cards.com. That is my Bank Pass website, 4-cards.com. You go there, and at the top it says B.A.N.K. Click on there. That will take you to the Bank Pass. But I think you've already done this, but if you have a friend or someone else who's interested in learning more, they can get their Bank Pass analysis done at my cost. It's a $59 value, and it's my gift to you, and it's my gift to you and your friends. So I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to any of the 4 plans. There's the virtual training VT Core. There is virtual training Pro. And then there is the Platinum, which of course contains Pro and Core. But it goes way beyond that. It includes all the scripts, 24 scripts that you can use in your business to actually speak directly to that other individual's CRYPTEX, their secret. In addition to speed coding modules, etc. Now, I do teach live classes as well, and you can also get the live classes through BANKCODE Corporate. So give me a call, 510-849-1176, 510-849-1176, and let me know what level you want to subscribe to, and we'll get started on that right away. So if you subscribe to Bank Pass, which you can also do separately, then you can start using this for your own purposes. Have all of your clients do this. I personally have never had anyone refuse to do it. There is a script that you use that enlists people, but essentially you're just doing it to be able to communicate more effectively with them and to help to meet their needs better. And people love playing it. People love playing cards, I guess. I mean, when I first saw this system, I spent a lot of money. I saw Sherry Tree on stage at a big conference, and she talked about these cards, and I had done so many other kinds of personality testing that were all pretty much you fill out a form and stuff, and it's a little tedious. It takes a long time. The cards are genius. People never refuse to do these cards. So sign up for Bank Pass, sign up for a subscription, one of the 3 levels or the enterprise level, and get started. It is really wonderful. You get, with the Bank Pass, the results are sent to you of what the other person fills out, and it's actually couched in terms of how you can better communicate so that selling to them is much more easy. So once again, BANKCODE was set up as a sales tool, but it works for relationships as well very effectively. The Bank Pass looks like this. This is the online dashboard. You have the list of names along the side. You can see their code. Next to that, it says what their status is. You get their email, you get their phone number, and the date played, and then you can put in notes alongside of it, short notes about that individual. To date, in my Bank Pass dashboard, I think there is 285 now. Bank is really perfect for almost any industry. In the sales industry, financial services, real estate, it's used there. It's used for professionals like myself. Online marketers are using it. It's fantastic in relationships. Speakers and coaches can use it to more effectively communicate with their clients and to help their clients achieve what they want. It's being used in education. I have done numerous talks at UC Berkeley and other places with this, and people love it. The students really love it and would like to learn more about it. It's great for leadership, and it's wonderful in the corporate setting to enhance communication and better understanding among the different individuals in the corporate board as well as on sales teams. Why Bank? Well, I've studied with Les Brown. He is a world-renowned motivational speaker, coach, and best-selling author. If you've never had a chance to work with him, I suggest that you do. What has Les Brown said? He says Bank is a game changer for every entrepreneur and sales professional. This system will strengthen your confidence, expand your selling skills, and dramatically increase your income. Remember at the beginning where it said that Salesforce interviewed salespeople. 87% of salespeople felt that they were not prepared for their sales presentation. Well, knowing BANKCODE significantly increases that confidence and ability to sell in no matter what environment a person is going into. So we say bank is the language of people. It's not just the numbers game, it is the language of people and the people game. One world, one language, bank, get involved. It is the solution for the sales dilemma and to increase your sales and your communication skills with others. This is an example of the virtual training. You can subscribe to BANKCODE virtual training at several different levels. There's the course subscription. I mentioned that before. It includes Bank Pass for the first month. It gives you all the bank fundamentals. It tells you about the values and the ways to sell to these individuals. It also includes a white paper. Bank Pass activation as the online software is $99 value. We will throw that in for free if you use my code during the ordering. And call me, we can set up the order. It's also then, first month is free, and then $29.95 a month thereafter. Now, I mean, I've been paying for this for like 3 years. It's well worth it. Course subscription, actually $997 value. You get bank sales tips at a glance. It's $47 value. The bank white paper is $297 value. Bank Nation Facebook group that you can be part of, it's invitation only. That's $57 value. The core is a $1,497 value plus $99 activation fee and $29.95 a month. Pro subscription. This includes all the fundamentals, but it also includes speed coding. It includes the Bank Pro audio library, which is the $497 value. It includes Bank Pro power calls. This is weekly calls to help inspire you and to help you better understand the bank code. It's $997 value over the course of a year. There's the Bank Pro Power Call Archive, which includes all 60 plus hours of the previous BANKCODE power calls, as well as then you have the current ones. It also includes the Success Selling System, which is a virtual system, $1,297 value. 12 courses included in this Pro subscription. It also includes the Sales Velocity event ticket of $497 ticket value. The Pro is an $8,997 value, plus the $99 activation fee and the $29.95 per month for Bank Pass. Then we move on to the Platinum subscription. Platinum subscription, of course, includes all of the previous items, previous levels, the Core, the Pro, but it also includes Bank Power Scripting. This is how to write copyright so it fits each of the BANKCODE personality types that you'll be working with. Of course, again, down in the lower corner, you see it includes Core subscription and the Pro subscription. It includes Power Scripting formulas. That's $297 value. It includes 48 BANKCODE reports. $497 value. This is specific to the bank codes that we talked about before. And you also get a Center of Influence Networking Mastery program. That's 5 courses included in that. Of course, you get the sales program as well. The Sales Velocity is a 6-course program. That's a $997 value. You also get the Millionaire Map, the Massive Action Plan, 13 courses, is a $2997 value. The Platinum Power Call, not just the Pro, but the Platinum, that's $1297 value. You also get 2 Sales Velocity VIP event tickets. That's a $997 value. And so the Platinum program is at $19,997 value. We also have the Enterprise subscription, which I mentioned before. This is for companies that have more than one individual. And so you have to call us for pricing to figure that out, because it depends on the number of people who want access to it at the company. So let's review. The BANKCODE virtual training subscriptions are available 24/7 to you. You can access it from anywhere at any time. 365 days a year, unlimited access for you. The Core VT is $14.97 value. The Pro VT is at $89.97 value. And the Platinum is a $19,997 value. What does Ben Franklin say? Very bright guy. If you think the cost of education is expensive, try the cost of ignorance. Not knowing this can really cost you in the long run. You have to think in terms of a return on investment. What is the cost of training compared to how much you make back? That is what the training investment formula is. By investing in BANKCODE, it will help you take it to the bank in your sales. So I have a special offer for you. I'll waive the $99 activation fee, and the core virtual training is only $497. The Pro virtual training is $997, and the Platinum is $1997. So I encourage you to call. I don't know how long this offer will exist, because corporate makes these decisions too. So give me a call, tell me which program you'd like to sign up for, and we'll get started right away. Once again, the Pro contains the Core. The Platinum contains the Pro and the Core. Now, if you buy the Core now and want the Pro later, you'll have to pay the full amount for the Pro. You paid for Core, you'll have to pay for Pro if you want the Pro and you don't buy it now. If you just get the Core, then your subscription will start from the time that you do the upgrade for another year. Now, if you buy the Pro or the Core now, but you want the Platinum later, you will have to pay the full $1997. Your subscription will start from that point for another year. So it's really important that you think seriously about getting the Platinum. That's certainly the best deal. It's certainly a much better deal than I ever got when I first started with BANKCODE. It's an amazing deal because there's so much extra that you get that we never got when we first started 3.5 years ago. So as a special deal, you get to attend the live 2-day bank training. There's the Bank Fundamentals 1-day course. That's live, where you get to interact with me or at the corporate level. And you also get to interact with other people and find out what their experience is. And it's really amazing learning in the environment where you're doing interaction and special breakout sessions with other people. Now, you have satisfaction guaranteed with this. Money back guaranteed for 3 days from the date of purchase. We're experiencing dramatic annual growth, and there are also bank consultants and trainers who are wanted. I'm a bank trainer. You could become a consultant with me, under me, or you could become a trainer also and go through all the training that I had. It is an investment, but it is a global opportunity, and bank is in 40 more than 40 countries right now. Robert Kiyosaki says most people get 1 to 2 opportunities in a lifetime to get on a rocket that's taking off. So I'm going to have a special breakout session about the opportunity to become a trainer or a consultant with me. So get in contact with me, 510-849-1176, and I'll let you know when that breakout session is. And we'll go over the opportunities you might want to learn about as far as being a consultant or trainer yourself.